Coming up, you may get the shot, but we'll tell you the surprising penalty for fudging a pre-existing condition to get a COVID vaccine. Some parents are now scrambling as area schools announce more distance learning dates. Plus, how a Minnesota hockey ref saves the day in an unexpected way. Valley News Live at 10 starts right now.
This is Valley News Live at 10.
New tonight at 10, it's generally never a good idea to lie about your medical records, but with underlying conditions as the only qualifying factor in some areas to get the COVID vaccine, some people are taking drastic measures. Tonight, Valley News team's Courtney Lockie dug into the issue to see what the consequences are.
1 year of COVID in North Dakota has many looking forward to the days masks and social distancing are a thing of the past.
COVID's been all-encompassing.
So much so that some are doing whatever it takes to get to the front of the line for a vaccine, including lying about their health condition.
Not good. I haven't heard about that yet, but I think it makes sense, so yeah.
Why do you say that you think it makes sense?
I think people are kind of desperate to be getting the vaccine.
Cass County Health says it's all on the honor system since many providers don't have access to medical records. While there may not be a legal consequence, there could be a financial one. Once you tell any provider about a health condition, it goes down on your medical record. Records that are routinely asked for by insurance companies trying to decide if you're worthy of insurance. Having a serious medical condition on your record could mean a number of things, from having to pay more to not qualifying at all, even to use as an excuse to not pay your family after you die. Many like Lexa and Hannah say they'll wait their turn.
They should just wait their turn because it's gonna come to everyone.
I think that the trajectory is looking good and everybody's gonna be getting their vaccine soon.
In Fargo, Courtney Lockie, Valley News Live.
Since medical records are private, your health department must have permission to share them with your insurance company. But if you choose not to share them, you can be denied insurance. Continuing your COVID-19 vaccine coverage, some COVID vaccination clinics in North Dakota are moving on to Phase 1C. That's the last phase before the general population can receive the vaccine. In some places like Rugby, Cooperstown, Linton, Bismarck, Rolla, and Dunseith, the only other stipulation besides falling into Phase 1C is that you're a North Dakota resident. Other counties like Steele are opening up to Phase 1C, but you must be a resident of the county. To find a vaccination clinic that works for you, visit ndvax.org. Their list is frequently updated. Fargo and West Fargo parents, be prepared for your students to learn from home again while their teachers are receiving the COVID vaccine. In Fargo, students will learn from home March 11th, 12th, and 31st, and April 1st. The district says they're doing it to accommodate staff's potential reaction to the vaccine. Students are already out of school March 15th through the 19th and April 2nd for spring break and Good Friday. And in West Fargo, middle and high schoolers will distance learn on Wednesday, March 10th. There are no changes for any other grades at this time. The staff's second shots will happen the week of March 29th, and they say more information about learning model adjustments will be sent at a later date. Officials are working to get veterans vaccinated. So far, nearly 1.5 million veterans have gotten at least one dose of the vaccine.
To date, more than 1.4 million veterans have been vaccinated, with more than half of them having gotten both vaccines. And we're making sure that equity is at the forefront of where and how we distribute vaccines.
The VA says it is actively reaching out to veterans who qualify for the vaccine. More than 230,000 veterans in the VA's care have been infected by COVID-19, with more than 10,000 deaths from the virus. And you can stay up to date with the latest COVID vaccine-related information by browsing our VNL vaccine tracker. You can visit our website or simply open your phone camera right now and point it at the QR code on your screen. Then tap the link that pops up. More fans will be allowed to view Minnesota sports tournaments in person. The State High School League says crowds are at most tournament games and events this month, and next will be 250 people. League executives say they hope one, maybe two family members of each athlete can attend, but the general public will not have access to tickets. New information tonight on the car crash on I-94 this afternoon. The North Dakota Highway Patrol received the call around 3:45 this afternoon. They say only one car was involved and no one was hurt. One lane of I-94 West was closed for about 15 minutes, backing up traffic. Officers say they still don't know how the fire started, but they are investigating. If you're trying to reach someone with Grand Forks County, it's best not to email them. County officials alerted all departments that a foreign country has hacked their email server. The sheriff's office emails will be inaccessible until further notice. If you need to contact the sheriff's office, you can reach them at the number on your screen, 701-780-8280, or stop by between the hours of 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. A midnight mistake has city leaders apologizing tonight after thousands of people received a late-night call and text last night from Cass Clay Alerts. City leaders say a required test is done monthly, but is supposed to only be sent out internally.
Sometimes people get in a hurry and mistakes are made, and that's what happened last night. I would love to say that it will never happen again, but we all know to err is human.
Thankfully, operators were able to stop the alert from going out to all 115,000 contacts. Since the alert, around 500 people have unsubscribed from the system. A woman says she was followed inside West Acres Mall, but mall officials say it didn't happen. The recent media report has been met with widespread community concern. Mall leaders say they conducted an internal investigation from the day in question. In a statement, they write that they can confidently say that at no time was the woman threatened or followed, nor did the accused ever so much as glance at the woman. A guard escorted the unnamed woman to her car, which West Acres says they'll do if you ask. Looking at the U.S. Capitol tonight, the Senate got the ball rolling on President Biden's massive COVID relief bill. Vice President Kamala Harris broke a 50-50 tie today to kick off the debate on the $1.9 trillion legislation. It's expected to be a long process because Republicans are expected to drag it out in a number of ways. One of those ways is having the entire 628-page bill read on the Senate floor. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer welcomed the idea.
We are delighted that the senator from Wisconsin wants to give the American people another opportunity to hear what's in the American Rescue Plan. We Democrats want America to hear what's in the plan.
Before the debate, Democrats released the text of the legislation. It follows similar priorities as the one that has already passed in the House, but the Senate version would not raise the minimum wage, and fewer Americans would be eligible for the next round of stimulus checks. A federal judge has set a timeline on a case involving former President Donald Trump's tax returns. It will be mid-June before the House Oversight Committee and Trump get a ruling on whether his accounting firm must give his tax returns to Congress. The committee refiled its subpoena last week for the documents as it looks into any possible conflicts of interest while Trump was president. Federal investigators are looking into communications between members of Congress and the mob that attacked the U.S. Capitol. The investigation is moving closer to exploring whether some lawmakers helped the insurrectionists. The data gathered so far indicates communication between the rioters involved discussing their associations with members of Congress. Officials say that communication doesn't necessarily indicate wrongdoing by lawmakers. The man investigating the riot and siege at the U.S. Capitol is now recommending sweeping changes to protect that historic building and those inside. The independent review submitted to Congress calls for adding more than 1,000 Capitol police officers. That would cost close to $100 million. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi says it will be worth the cost.
It's going to take more money to protect the Capitol in a way that enables people to come here, children to come and see our democracy in action, all of you to cover what happens here safely, members to be comfortable that they are safe when they are here.
They're also recommending retractable fencing around the Capitol. Many lawmakers have rejected that idea, the idea of fencing off the building. Not loving your internet speeds? A bipartisan group of senators is hoping to change that. They sent letters to the Departments of Agriculture and Commerce, the FCC, and the National Economic Council asking for an increase in broadband services nationwide. Right now, internet speeds are around 25 megabytes per second for downloads and 3 megabits per second for uploads. The senators want both of those speeds bumped up to 100 megabits per second. The Postal Service is allowing employees to retire early. Officials say voluntary retirements, along with other consolidations, will improve efficiency. It's unclear how much money early retirement will save the Postal Service. Still ahead tonight, an audio malfunction at a Minnesota hockey game lands a referee in the spotlight. Plus, we've been having such great days lately and we're getting used to it. Hutch tells us what tomorrow has in store right after the break.